Sup? It's Greggatron, and I hope you like my shirt. Yes. I don't think I have any X-Men shirts. Not that I can think of. So, speaking of X-Men, there's been some buzz going around on the internet about the continuation of, they're calling it X-Men 97. I know it as 92. That's the year I was born. That's the year it came out. It ended in 97, so that's what they're calling it, X-Men 97. So, before I even get into that, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, this is it. Look at how clean that is. Volume 1. I grew up on this. Volume 2. Yep, that's right. You guys know me. Y'all been watching long enough. Look at that. Look at how clean that looks. This is before Disney Minus came out, by the way. I was collecting these for myself, but I was also getting them because I had a niece and she was little. And I knew I might not have kids someday. So I said, when she gets older, I'm going to just give these joints to her. Well, then they came out with Disney Minus. So she's got that. So she doesn't even need DVDs, period. Because she can just watch it all on there. Anyway. So this show's a classic. Let me pick it up one more time. This show's a classic, right? We used to watch this every Saturday morning with our dad. Like, he used to wake us up early in the morning just to watch this. And this wasn't the only show. It was Spider-Man. It was Gargoyles. It was Batman. It was whatever was on Fox Kids or Kids WB or ABC Family. These were the joints. Like, these were the heavy hitters in the 90s. I remember him getting us up early. X-Men's coming on. Wolverine's coming on. Cyclops. Storm. I mean, he's naming these people off by name. And that's actually one of the reasons I'm into comics to begin with, because my dad, that's like a fond memory we had, right? Or that I have. I can't speak for all my siblings. But anyway, so let me tell you what's going on. So they're reviving this show, right? And it's supposed to be a straight continuation of how it ended with season 5. So check it out. You got all your characters back who you once knew and loved, right? But here's the kicker. So Morph, I know you remember Morph from season 1. Everybody thought he died. That was kind of tragic what happened to him, but he didn't really die when I thought he was dead. I ain't gonna lie. As a kid. Anyway, so Morph is now a non-binary person. And I'm just like, what? So first of all, Morph, he's a shapeshifter. But his normal form, he always looked like just a normal, regular white man, right? White guy, black hair. Kind of like a, what do you call that? Almost like a fishbowl haircut, almost. But now, he doesn't even look white. He doesn't look black. His skin is like gray and he has no hair. And they're trying to say this is a they, them person. But everybody knew as a kid that Morph was a dude. So that's what all this buzz is about. You're changing characters, right? And they are changing this. And the producer's argument is basically, well, Morph is a shapeshifter. So it doesn't matter what he is. It does matter because it's supposed to be a continuation of something that was already established. You know what I'm saying? And then the other argument is, well, this is X-Men. This is about people who are oppressed. No, this is about something else that y'all are doing. Don't try to use the social justice mess issue to push a totally different agenda. You know what I'm saying? Because X-Men, they used to try to say it was personification for the quote unquote civil rights movement, that type of stuff. And it's like, whether you believe that or not, now they're trying to move beyond that into what's going on today. Like in the 90s, you never heard about trans this or trans that or LGBTQ or I didn't even hear about gay stuff until I was like in the mid 2000s. So they're trying to say because the world is changing, this show has to change with it. But it doesn't make sense because the show if the show ended in 97, that means this new season would take place in 98. So how are you going to have a they, them person when in 98 that wasn't even going on? That wasn't even a thing. So it's like they're clearly pushing an agenda. Like non-binary character, what is that? What? Just keep stuff the way it is for the better. Keep building on what was already established. You don't need to be... And this is a kid's show. Like, I can imagine watching this show as a kid and this crap was going on. Who the heck's calling me? And I asked my dad, hey, Dad, what does this mean, non-binary? I can't even imagine my dad attempting to explain what that means in the 1990s. Well, son, that just means morph doesn't identify as a man or a woman. Like, that wasn't even a thing. That was not a thing in the 1990s. So 30 years later, I can't imagine parents watching this with their kids and having that conversation. It's like they're trying to slide it in. That's the end game here. They're trying to slide it in to be subtle about it so you don't really pick up on it right away. And then by the time you do pick up on it, you're like, oh, okay, whatever, cool. They're trying to normalize it, basically. But nah, that's ridiculous. Morph is a man. And it's like, you got blue characters, Mystique, Beast, Nightcrawler. You got green people. There was a character in Genosha. He was like a pterodactyl, and he was green. You got the Morlocks. They were all different characters. You got black people, Storm, Bishop, etc. Like, that's not enough. That's not enough. Now they're like, we're going to take it a step further. We're going to make someone non-binary. What? We're going to put a non-binary character in a kid's show. A kid's show. This show was so clean, too, because it was about crime. Some of it was about politics. It was about treating people the way you want to be treated. You know, it was about right versus wrong. It was about doing the right thing regardless of who is watching you, regardless of who hates you, who loves you. It was just about doing the right thing, being the bigger man, doing the right thing. But now with all these subliminal messages, I guarantee you that type of stuff that I just mentioned, that's going to be like on the sidelines, and they're going to be pushing this other stuff. I don't know why we can't just have a normal show. And the animation, let me talk about that. The animation looks like too clean. Like, I like the 90s anime, 90s animation in different shows because it was like gritty and dirty and filthy. And like the language was sharp. It was like gritty. Like, if you listen to some of the dialogue back then, as a kid, I didn't understand all of it, but I watched it not too long ago. but the dialogue was tough. But this new stuff, it's like the CGI. I said the same thing about Baki the Grappler on Netflix. The CGI in some moments is just too clean. It's like, bro, dirty it up a little bit. Like, I said the same thing about Dragon Ball Super. This just looks too nice. Like, don't get it twisted. I mean, look at these Sentinels. That stuff was mean, but I guarantee you this show is going to be watered down. The fans are already pissed, so whatever. But I don't even have a Disney Minus account. But still, even if I did, if something's not broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? With that said, I'm probably not going to watch this show. This is the same reason why I said years ago, I don't think Disney should make a Gargoyles movie, live action. Because right now, everything Disney touches turns to dust. They're just going to destroy it. That's what's going to happen. Because they always have to have these hidden meanings, hidden agendas, wokeness. Taking decent characters that we all know and love and, no pun intended, morphing them into something different. So, like, leave Gargoyles alone, leave X-Men alone, leave my shows alone. Now, somebody else said this, but I was already thinking this. Had it been a different show, that would be different. But they want to take something that's already established, something that already has a name on it, X-Men 97, which was the most popular superhero show at the time. That and probably Batman and Spider-Man. They want to take something that already has a name on it that we all know and change it because they already know we're used to it. Opposed to just making a new show. There have been other X-Men shows, X-Men Evolution, Wolverine and the X-Men. There was an X-Men anime. Instead of making up something new like that, they're like, nah, we're just going to take something, the most popular show, by the way, and F it all up. But we'll see how this goes. There's some other stuff that people are complaining about, which to me was kind of irrelevant. They're saying, I'm not even going to mention that, it's so ridiculous. But yeah, I don't care like if a character's character design looks different. As long as that character has that same core value. You know what? I'll say it. There's like a before and after picture from 92 to now. They're like, they took Rogue's ass away. I'm like, who's looking at Rogue's ass? Like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, y'all are complaining about the wrong stuff. Like, yeah, Rogue was sexy, but that's not why Gambit wanted her. Let's talk about that for a second. Gambit wanted Rogue more than any other woman because you couldn't have her, because she couldn't be touched. That made her the most desirable woman because Gambit knew she was that jewel that was unobtainable. Does that make sense? You know how usually men want women who they can't have? That's what it was. If you touch her, she'll kill you. She drains your powers. She drains your life force. But the fact that people are like, Rogue doesn't have an ass anymore. I'm like, how stupid are y'all to even... Who notices that? She's still the same character. Whatever. This video's long. Alright. Let me know what you guys think. If you're a fan of X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Gargoyles, Mighty Ducks, any of that stuff from the 90s, Beetleborgs, Power Rangers. I mean, the list goes on. We had all the shows. You know what I'm saying? Spider-Man Unlimited, Batman Beyond. We had the shows. If you want to talk about these shows, on second thought, what was your favorite show back then? Mine is either Gargoyles or Batman the Animated Series. X-Men and Spider-Man, those are like my number 3 and 4. But this video's long. Let me know what you think. Peace.